Be live to YouTube. Let's take a whirl.
YouTube, not Twitch?
Yeah, I wanted to upload directly. That's my thought. There we go. I just got the notification.
Sheesh.
Why, hello.
Sheesh. Charmander. But I can't get a freaking Totodile to pop up. That's crazy.
So I'm gonna leave my mic here.
Okay. Hand it to me if you want me to test the sound. Actually, that's a terrible idea.
No, I'll leave it right here where I'd be.
Oh, yeah?
Like doing everything.
So should I just be talking?
Yeah, just talk normal.
Pogo, Pokemon Go, because that's what we do out here. We gamers on gaming everything. I need a Totodile for the collection. Tell me if I sound too loud, because I can always move my microphone. If I sound too loud, I can move it down on one of my hoodie strings or hold it, because I can hear myself in the other room.
Squeak, like. Do you hear that? Like.
Yeah, why is that?
Hello, hello.
Try talking.
Hello, hello. Welcome back to Party Chat, episode 97 Poopy.
Huh? I unplugged my mic.
I know. I want to see if it picks you up.
I don't think it's going to. Well, and there's this. Should probably need this.
Oh, yeah.
Still sounds. Why is it doing that?
No.
No, I definitely think I just unheard you. I think I just heard you unmuted. Yeah, why is it so squeaky?
It stopped squeaking. Let me try plugging this back in. Hello, hello. Jimmy, try talking.
You're not going to be able to hear me.
Jimmy, try talking.
Sounds echoey. Still make noise. I see now. What did you unplug?
The camera. I unplugged them both.
Did that fix it, maybe? Maybe it fixed it? Yeah, there's some like ghost nonsense going on.
I don't know why it's making that noise. Mute your laptop, maybe?
I don't get what that noise is.
Hello, hello, hello.
Yeah, you're on your That's all.
Yeah, it's this.
Yeah. I think I still hear it.
Same.
It's so weird.
I don't know what it would be making it do that.
I don't know either.
Even if I have it here.
Why are you echoing so much?
Maybe picking up the phone.
That's probably what's making it echo.
Do you think?
Hang on. Or that's probably what's making it like squeak. Let me choose something first. See if it still happens. See if we can fix this.
It should. That's odd. It should just pick it up as a normal mic. Cheeky is my dad.
Do me a favor, walk over to my mic and say something.
Okay, you want me to take mine off?
Unplug yours, yeah.
Hello, I am using Jimmy's mic now. How do I sound? Baby girl. Oh. Hello, hello, hello. Is it still squeaking?
Yeah, it sounds fine.
Let me plug mine back in and let's see if the final time. Welcome back to episode 23. It's a big deal.
Did you unplug mine?
No, you're just plugged in.
I think it was having this open.
Okay. Wait, yeah, you can just close it.
That's what it is. It's because it kept picking itself on the echo,
Gotcha.
and it kept going. Yeah. That was gonna annoy the crap out of me. Because that's what it was. Every time I'd go like this, that creak would pick up, and it would
That's what that was.
keep echoing.
Huh. I like how my thing shows my antics then. I'm going to try and open another timer like last time. Soon as I can figure out.
Gotta
where
catch
it
them
was.
all. Gotta catch them all. Gotta catch them all. Gotta catch them all. You're not allowed to sleep. You're not allowed to do that.
I understand about the video. I don't remember how I threw up that timer last time.
Well, I didn't do it, so I can't help you.
Oh, I remember now. Bada bing, bada boom, bada boom, bada bing, bada bing.
I go to Six Flags tomorrow. I'm so excited. Who are you?
Here we go. Let's open another 30-second one. No. I'm so excited that I just
did.
can't
I might have
hide.
messed that. I might have messed that countdown up.
That's fine. I don't think it matters, honestly. It's not that. It's like not the end of the world. It's not like the DC cinematic universe where it's all going down. Heck.
They are crashing and burning. But
Crashing and
episode
burning.
23.
23. I gotta pull back up.
Double that. That's 46.
All right, we're never doing that joke thing because it was funny once and now it's been ruined.
Yeah, but you see, it's happened so many. No, it's happened so many times. It's our thing. It's our thing. It's party chat's thing.
I can understand.
It's party chat's thing.
I can understand that.
We just
Man.
keep adding to everything that we throw up on this podcast. Now we have mics.
I know. So
if
we're
this,
testing another audio thing. Jim bought like those mics that you attach to like your little shirts and everything. The lapels. Right?
Yes. So if the audio quality is trashy, we will be reshooting this tomorrow.
Yeah. So let's hope it goes too well. It was leaking earlier, but it should be good now, honestly. So.
Yes, I think we figured out the cause and solution for that.
And yeah, Chris Pratt, Amazon Prime tomorrow. I want to point something out.
I did not watch it.
Jimmy did not watch it. I watched it despite the early reviews being everyone claiming it's garbage.
IGN claiming it's garbage.
IGN verbatim what they said. I'm a very bad reader. So if you see
Do you want me to read it?
No, I got this.
Okay.
The Tomorrow War is an astonishingly bad. It's got a confusing plot and emotionally shallow hero arc. And the monsters are more messy than menacing. It's astonishing that the helm of the Lego Batman movie followed that vibrant, funny, and wildly entertaining offering with an action movie that is such an eyesore. Such an insane eyesore. My bad. That's extremely harsh. Like, if I went to a review and I heard that is extremely harsh.
Yep. They give it a 3 out of 10.
3 out of 10.
This is the same studio that gave F9 and
an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
The Last Jedi, a 9 out of 10. Like,
been saying this.
Episode 4 of Loki was an 8 out of 10, I think.
Been saying it for ages.
And I'm like,
I do not trust IGN. We only use it to find out what's the talk on the town because they don't know what they're talking about. It's nonsense. Absolute nonsense.
Dude, that is a harsh review. Calling it an insane eyesore, astonishingly bad, shallow hero arc of a film. Holy smokes. So, of course, I had to go watch it to find out why it was so bad. And I found out I was thoroughly entertained the whole movie. I don't know what they got that from.
I have no comment because I haven't seen it.
I was thoroughly entertained, and if I paid to see it in the theaters, I would have been okay with paying to see it in the theaters.
Really?
Yep.
Sequel? I've heard that possible sequel.
There is a possible sequel. The way it ended, I do not know how. Of course, I have my theories how, but it could just be a money grab. But the way this thing is getting shattered by everybody is.
I said this to you before we started recording. The way this channel is going is we are becoming enemies of IGN, and like that's how we're going. And you know what? I'm totally fine staking my claim against IGN because they don't make sense.
Yeah.
There was one comment that you read off before we did this, and it was someone saying, "Oh, so they gave this a 3. Does that mean it's like a 7 or an 8?"
I went through the comments on the IGN's post just to see what everybody else was thinking, to see if I was crazy or not, which we already know I am. But anyways,
yeah,
all of them were like, IGN's wrong. You don't know how to review movies. IGN, what are you talking about? This movie was great. This movie was good. It's not a 3 out of 10. They're like, oh, IGN gave it a 3. It must be a 7 or 8 out of 10 then of a movie because they don't know how to do it. And I'm just like, I'm glad I'm not the only one. Because I was like, I like Chris Pratt. I think he's a good actor. I was like, maybe I'm just thinking it's high because I like Chris Pratt. No, not at all. It's apparently not just me.
I didn't watch it, so I don't have a lot to say. I'm only here to say IGN is smoking something, and I don't know what it is, but share it.
Yeah.
Share it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I recommend watching this movie. And I saw something on TikTok, and this made me think. I don't know if it's it. I don't know if it's not. It could be. Chris Pratt is one of the few actors that's openly Republican, openly Christian, and like stands for what he stands for. He's like, this is what I stand for.
There is a lot of canceling going on.
Could this be a hate crime for horse? I don't know if hate crime is the right word. Could people be disliking it just because it's Chris Pratt? Maybe.
It's a possibility, but I do feel like.
Now, they didn't do it in the past movies, but he wasn't as open as he has been recently with the riots, the election, this, and that. This is like COVID. He's like, no, I stand what I believe for. Like, I'm a Christian, Republican, this, and that.
I think it's a possibility just because of the sheer fact that the whole cancel, what's the word I'm looking for?
Culture.
Cancel culture that's going on. I don't think it's that. Just because of the sheer fact that they gave F9 an 8 out of 10, and F9 was an absolutely ridiculous movie.
Yeah.
I think it's just the sheer fact that whoever's rating movies at IGN needs to get fired.
And put me in.
It's nonsense. Like, we were talking. What did I just go see recently? We saw Black Widow.
Yeah.
And it's like, even that, and we'll get to that, but like, whenever I watch movies now, because I know we're talking about it on the podcast, I have to watch it from
a different eye.
Yes,
almost.
exactly. Like, I'm looking at it like, wow, that's all right, but it's not.
Does it make sense?
Right. Why is it there? And we'll talk about a few points that Black Widow did in the movie that, like, I get because it fits story narrative.
Yeah.
But I'm like, this isn't accurate. Like, I don't like this.
Yeah, like, you're dead. You're dead.
Right.
No, I will say Marvel. I give them tons of leeway for that. But
exactly. Because it does. It fits a story narrative, which I'm like, okay. But, like, DC can't pull that off because DC already has nonsense in their movies as it is, and now they have to make sense.
Yeah, Rob's over here sending me pics of girls. I've been on a double date with Rob forever. I don't know why that's random. Every time we go to a double, we're always like, yo, this is going to be great. Somehow things go south on the date, and then we're just like, well, on the ride home, it's like 11:30 at night. Yeah, I know.
Look at you.
It's like midnight, and we're like, where did things go wrong? And we're like, well, see you tomorrow.
Things going wrong, Pig?
Yeah, apparently not.
What?
So, movie is called Pig, and it stars Nicolas Cage. And I want you to think of this. John Wick, but with Nicolas Cage and a pig instead of a dog.
Did you see?
I did not watch it.
Did you see the image? He looks fat. This is not John Wick. So it says, Nick Cage gives a measured, meticulous performance in Pig. Cage turns his usual explosiveness inward as he searches for his kidnapped truffle pig, resulting in a melancholy John Wick for the Portland restaurant scene. This is ridiculous. Look, I think National Treasures, great movies.
Yeah.
Great movies. That is the best Nick Cage movies that there are. He does the same exact role in every movie. He's the same actor in every movie. And Dan brought it up. He mentioned, he's like, well, what about Tom Cruise? You could say the same thing about Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise
does a good job.
Exactly. Like, he might be a little crazy, but he's typecast into this cool guy mentality, this super spy. Like, he's pulled off Mission Impossible, Top Gun,
Oblivion, just different films.
Like,
I think The Last Samurai as well. Stuff like that.
He pulls it off.
Yeah, he doesn't. You're typecast, but you're good at that cast.
Exactly.
It's not like
but the typecast is cool guy spy.
Yeah,
like, you can get away with that. Nick Cage does this same depressed, schizophrenic. Every single movie, even in National Treasure, there was a little bit of it. But I don't know, like Ghost Rider, like, oh my gosh, that was just like, as a kid watching it, I'm like, I like this. I finally get to see Ghost Rider on the big screen. But I like going back and watching these movies. I'm like, what's going on? This is nonsense.
I cannot watch Ghost. I'd rather have my Army physical done by Freddy Krueger. My initial Army physical. Right. I'd rather have that done by Freddy Krueger than watch Ghost Rider again.
That. But it's just like, I don't know, man. After a certain point, when you actually know what an actor's job is supposed to be, he doesn't do it. Like, you're supposed to be able to change and adapt. But it's just like, he doesn't. And it's the worst kind of not being able to change and adapt. Like, you can only be this, like, depressed schizophrenic so many times before it gets old. Yep. Like, at least the distraction from Tom Cruise in these movies is the fact that there's a lot of action. There are a lot of great, charisma, and there are a lot of great supporting characters that take away from it. It's probably why National Treasure did well, because you had supporting characters that actually, like, added to his.
Honestly, the whole scene, the whole situation, and the concept on National Treasure was really good as well.
Well, yeah,
I would say make another one. But yeah, I haven't seen Pig. I don't really plan on watching it that much. It's just odd.
But
I gave that a 9. We get Tomorrow War a 3.
like I said, IGN
So I'm just curious.
War. What If trailer dropped? Oh,
Yeah.
I actually don't know if it dropped. It might have been out, but it was the first time I saw it.
It was in the podcast.
I'm excited. Be able to see.
Yeah,
like,
I think it's gonna be a great cartoon.
they show Peggy Carter as Captain America or Captain Britain, whatever it is. They show zombie Captain America a little bit. They show
Killmonger chucking a missile away from Tony Stark. Like,
yeah,
it's gonna be hectic. I think
I'm excited. Do we know how long that season's supposed to be?
No, I don't know episode wise. So DC typically runs animated shows, like movies,
Yes.
shows. They own that domain easily. I'll easily say that. What if, I'm not gonna say it's gonna turn the tide, but it could be Marvel making an approach.
Could you imagine if they changed games on that and like completely took it over?
DC would be down bad. They'd literally be yeeted.
I don't know. I don't think they're going to do that. I think that's where Disney Plus comes in, trying to take the series.
Guys, we have a special guest announcement. Actually, I'm actually really happy this happened. Dan's fish died. Dan's fish died.
Second one down. Is that how it works? Second one down.
Do we give it a Viking burial in the pool?
Yes.
Put him on it.
Let it go.
Yo, imagine it's a frog that licks it up. Oh, BLM
Wow.
Sedan. What was his name? Cyndaquil? Kirito. R.I.P.
Wow.
Kirito.
Wow.
He will forever be hated.
2 fish down. So what? You have one left? Do you have one left? No. I give it 2 weeks.
Last one's called Beck.
I give.
Yeah. Rip? Is Dawn here?
Oh, so where?
Yo, that guy is. Yo.
That was funny. I think Disney Plus is
Backstreet
changing.
Boyfriend's ugly. Sorry.
What? What did you say?
I said Backstreet Boyfriend is ugly.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yes.
They're not going to make a run on the animated movies. We're not talking about relationships. We're talking about Marvel and
What if?
new to Marvel. Deadpool makes his appearance.
Yeah, finally.
He's
Holy
officially
smokes.
MCU.
I didn't know it was official till you ended up telling me, and I was
Yes.
like,
Him and Korg had a little sit down.
Korg, like what a character to pick.
What a guy. They fit each other. What a guy.
Ryan was like, this is why I like Dark World more.
Yeah,
that was hilarious.
That was good. I don't know who's
Jeez.
Ryan. I don't know who Ryan Reynolds is. I know who Deadpool is.
Wait,
What?
that's recorded.
Huh? Oh, right. So Deadpool's going to be doing some things like reaction videos, social influencer work, park appearances, and after credit work by 2030. So in the next 9 years, you could be expecting him to
A little bit of pole action.
Right. So Ryan Reynolds dropped it on Instagram, and for like the Free Guy movie, they did a trailer reaction kind of thing, and it was supposed like they made snarky little comments the entire time.
Look at him, he looked like a cute little guy in his blue shirt.
Right. Deadpool throws in a few Ryan Reynolds jokes, stuff like that. I don't know what the social influencer work's gonna be. I would assume
I could see memeing.
Probably memeing on like Marvel's official posts. Maybe like Tom Holland gets a post out there, and you just see like Deadpool edited in the background or something, right? For like Spider-Man, and then
it's funny because the way Deadpool's created and the way Ryan Reynolds plays him,
it's perfect.
He could show up. Tom Holland is doing the red carpet review for what's called Spider-Man: No Way Home. Ryan Reynolds could show up, not tell anyone.
Right.
And jump on the red carpet. No one's gonna be mad. No one's gonna say anything, and everyone's gonna be happy. And it's just gonna bring more publicity.
I'm curious to see how this is gonna work out.
Tom would be like, "What are you doing here?" And he's like, "Hey, what's up? I'm in the MCU now, so I'm just gonna do whatever I want."
Right. Park appearances is pretty obvious, especially now that they have Marvel Campus and all that coming out at Disney.
Yeah.
And after credit work, we might see some throwaway extra post-credit scenes where Deadpool makes a little pop-in, and this is all happening within the next 9 years or so. So that'll be pretty cool. That's going to be a lot.
I can't wait.
going on for him. So that's going to keep him busy schedule. Plus, Deadpool 3, I think, was already confirmed.
I think so as well.
I don't remember, but
I can't wait to see him. Like imagine like Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness ends, and you just feel like, wow, stuff's really going crazy here, isn't it?
Yeah, something from
like just something like that would be awesome.
Kang / Loki.
So there's a lot of talk going on. Thanos is in, Thanos was out.
Yes.
Who is the next big baddie? Like, what's going on in the Marvel Cinematic Universe that everyone's gonna have to come back together for, and clap their cheeks metaphorically? My guess is Kang the Conqueror. I guess this after Thanos, it was just my nerdy comic knowledge just went straight to Kang or Galactus, but Galactus is like.
You know, I just realized it's bothering me.
Huh.
When we look at each other, we're looking at each other opposite on the camera.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Can you flip that? That looks like that's not bothering me as much now. I can't believe I didn't notice that. Like, you were looking at me, I'm like, huh.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
So, Kang the Conqueror is a big baddie in the MCU, and he is capable of taking the role of quote-unquote Thanos, someone who everyone's going to have to come together to build.
I think this is a fan favorite of what people want next, and it's becoming more of a possibility.
He's confirmed in
Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
It's definitely a big theory of him possibly showing up in Loki or being mentioned. I could see him mentioned.
So because the whole time travel thing now is becoming such a massive thing, that's where you're getting this idea of why Kang's going to be in there. Because what's his name? Something Reed.
Nathaniel Richards.
Oh, it's Nathaniel Richards.
Which is believed to be Reed Richards' dad.
So yeah,
Fantastic Four is confirmed as well.
It's a whole thing like identity crisis because there's times where he's Reed Richards' descendant. There's times where he's Doctor Doom's descendant. It's a whole thing. Like we were reading, even one article that broke it down is just ridiculous with the amount of information behind Kang. Yeah. Just trying to freshen up on some of our knowledge because our age group growing up, you're looking at a lot of Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes is the last time you see him in something like that. But yeah, so like there's a whole thing about like Nathaniel Richards. The Kang that we deal with isn't actually 616 Nathaniel Richards, but it is because 616 Nathaniel Richards does a whole time travel thing and brings peace to another Earth, and it's a whole thing. You can always go and Google his backstory, but
I can give a brief overview, like abilities, powers, like how is he strong enough? And so here's technically what he is. Him alone pretty much has no powers by himself. It's just him. Now he has like slightly super strength and everything, and Jimmy's putting a whole microphone in his mouth. He also has like a super enhanced intellect, super smart when it comes to strategy, planning, and everything. And his most valuable asset is his ship that can go back and forth in the time, recruit his army of whoever he wants from past times, future times, and also gets weather from the time. So like one of them has a future laser, which can literally just suck the life and willpower out of people and everything like that. It's just something you don't see in Marvel that much, or just an enhanced army of like different aliens or breeds or other people. And the way he got his name was he ended up conquering one planet like by himself and just with his quote unquote toys and weaponry and everything, and then just became King the Conqueror, and it's just driven by conquering by himself. And the way I'd put it, Marvel already beat like a villain, and I'll say he's more of the bronze. Just straight up.
So this would be more of the brain.
Yeah. Thanos has the gems and everything. Without the gems, he could fist fight Hulk, fist fight Thor. He beat them like both before. So this guy's more the brains. And it's odd because you don't have Tony.
Right.
Which would be a major help. It has to be like Doc Strange would have to take the helm, I feel like, for brains.
I'm wondering, Doctor Strange, no, because they're introducing Fantastic Four, so it'd be Reed Richards.
Yeah, if they do, then Reed, yeah.
And it's a whole, like, little more into his backstory is, like, one of the Nathaniel Richards finds out, like, because Kang comes through and tries to, like, influence him into taking that road. Well, he doesn't want to go that road, and so this is the kid that spends some time as, like, Iron Lad and some other heroes as a young Avenger. So you see him quite a bit in the comics, and that's why it's, like, kind of a complicated story to go over. But the reason that this is more of a possibility now is because you have this technology with the Lokis jumping through time and, all these time branches.
Traveling's coming in now.
A piece of tech could get lost, and you could have this Nathaniel Richards from whatever timeline go through and start this, and now you're going to have your Kang the Conqueror.
Yep. Yeah, it's becoming more and more and more viable right now. Especially with all the time travel going on and everything, could draw him in easily. Especially with the multiverse of madness. We don't know what's happening in Spider-Man yet. He'd be like,
so many people are still saying live action.
We gotta wait and see. I want a trailer, man. We're at Black Widow already.
I don't want a trailer.
I don't care what you want.
I want to go in.
Then don't watch it.
I want to go in. If it comes out, I'm gonna watch it.
That's so how
it is. I'm gonna watch it if it comes out, but I don't.
I'm just gonna be like,
I'm not even here for.
I think Marvel's smart enough not to give anything away. They have to know everybody's craving this trailer.
Oh, that's exactly why. This is going
drawing it out.
You don't have to be a Spider-Man fan to realize that this opening night is going to be ridiculous.
The way the last one ended. By the way, Spider-Man is Peter Parker. What the cut? And then you're just like, where do you go? It's gonna pick up John Wick 3. You on the run, boy. Like, I cannot wait. I just want a trailer to see what's going on, see what's happening.
Marvel, don't drop a trailer. Don't do it.
It has to be soon though. It's July.
Yeah.
5 months away till the movie, and it's almost.
We haven't even gotten a teaser yet.
Nothing.
I love it.
Nothing with a dun dun dun.
I love it.
Dun, dun, dun.
I crave it, and I love it that I'm not getting it.
It is.
Don't feed my Spider-Man addiction. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Oh, and we actually saw Black Widow.
We did.
I enjoyed it.
Good movie.
I enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to.
There were some curveballs that I was not a fan of, and I think that's where we go back to watching it as a critic.
Yeah.
Good movie.
Helena is my wife.
Helena is amazing.
Oh my! Stole the show, in my opinion. Favorite part of the movie.
She is hilarious.
And
I love the sister rivalry that they were like bouncing back.
I have a chance.
No, you don't.
What do you mean?
Stop.
I could pull her. I'll DM her.
Stop talking. Stop talking.
I could be. She could be my little honey.
Stop talking.
My little cupcake bat.
Stop talking. The rivalry between them was funny. She calls out Black Widow on Natasha, Scarlett Johansson on like her superhero poses. Like there's a lot of little jokes in there that are funny. Red Guardian. This was an issue when the movie was coming out.
Red Guardian and Taskmaster, I would say, are the biggest
disappointments of this movie because everyone knows Red Guardian goes hit for hit with Captain America in the comics.
He's smart, he's intelligent, he's strong.
He's a slob, he's dirty, he's fat. That's the Black Widow movie version. And it's like, dude, so he's the Russian super soldier, and he's in jail, and he got fat, and he's like a slob, and he's lazy, and it's like, what the heck?
Breaking people's arms.
Right. Like, I feel like modern day Marvel is going down a much more comedic path with a lot of their movies.
Yeah.
And I feel like you have characters for that, and you should just leave it with those characters. Spider-Man, Deadpool's now in the MCU.
Yeah.
You got away with Thor Ragnarok. I think it wasn't one of the favorites. It was still a good one. I'm trying to remember what people were saying about it.
I liked it.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Like you have other characters. You can incorporate it into Doctor Strange because you've seen how his character's handling some of these off-worlders.
Yeah.
Like you can throw in jokes. But when you keep incorporating it into all of your movies, you don't need to do that. Save it for people like Spider-Man, who's supposed to be comedic. Save it for, like I said, Deadpool's coming to the MCU. You have characters like Korg in the Thor movies and stuff like that. You can get away with it. Just stop overly introducing it to your movies because you're starting to phase away from the serious. Like, look at the original Avengers movie. Look at, like, it was like there were lighthearted parts, but you weren't going so nonsensical with just funny.
That man played Galaga. Back to the movie. Like that was
and that was the thing. Right. Yeah. It was a lighthearted moment. But it's just like
billionaire Playboy philanthropist. But those were like quotable jokes.
Exactly.
I can just 2012 last time I watched the movie probably. I can still quote it.
There's hitting so many more jokes into it. And personally I just feel like you're kind of losing some of the serious moments that would be in this. Don't get me wrong, Black Widow had some serious moments in it.
Yeah.
But I'm starting to sense this sway into comedy. That's not supposed to be like swaying as much.
Because there are some parts after they rescued Red Guardian and Yelena was talking to him. Red Guardian made a joke. He's like, what is it? What is it? Your time is lunch? She's like, actually, no, since you sent us away and like we got all of our insides scooped up with
Right.
that could have been like when you think about it, that's tough. Like,
Right.
you sold your children away to the government, used as weapons.
they're
They
children.
can't bring up children. They can't do any of that, anything motherly.
Fake children. But yeah.
Yeah, anything motherly like that at all. And they turned it into a joke, which is fine.
But it's like
that also could have been a serious
that could have put
like,
so much more weight on it because you hear about the Red Room from Natasha throughout the movies, but you now get to see how it affects other characters.
I want to talk that intro was when they had that song playing and they were like going through like the girls marching and like stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
That was a tough intro.
Yeah.
It was not what I expected. I was like, I looked over at Cheek and I was like, yo, this is actually like somber and like this is shocking.
And Taskmaster.
So Taskmaster is super strong.
Comic. He is a hitman.
Yeah.
Who uses his
mimic assassin abilities.
Well, it's I think certain ways they describe it is his perfect memory.
Yeah. It's like a photographic perfect memory when it comes to
and that's how he copies your movements and he sees you make a move down and he's so athletic that he transfers that and he can immediately copy your moves, and that's his fighting style. Is if he's fighting you, you're fighting yourself.
Yeah.
But every now and then he'll also incorporate other people he's fought against, if he knows that you have a weakness against that.
Yeah. He's a really cool villain. I actually really like him.
Yes, and I was so excited to see him in this movie. Or see her in this movie.
Yeah. I don't care that it was a female.
I care of how they did it.
Yeah.
Because Taskmaster is now, it was a throwaway. It was like the Mandarin in Iron Man 3. And I don't care. Fight me on it.
I'll agree with it.
That's all it was.
Because he would have been a good villain for that.
You could have brought him back in a Disney Plus movie. Disney Plus show.
You saw him fake bring his claws out because he watched Black Panther in the fight. You saw him with the shield because he watched Captain America. That stuff's cool. That's Taskmaster. But
the reason, so it's the main, I can't remember his name, but the chick that Natasha thought she killed getting rid of the Red Room, the guy who's kind of like the head honcho of the Widows, right? His daughter supposedly got blown up, and Black Widow thought, that was to tell that this dude was in the building, so it was technically her fault.
And Tanya, I think is her name.
Tanya. Oh, the daughter?
Yeah.
Yeah, so his kid dies, or so you think, and it turns out she's Taskmaster, right? Half her face is blown off. She's got a chip. That's how he does this whole chemical mind control thing on all the new Widows. And you're just you're watching it and you're like, it doesn't ruin the movie for me because it fits the narrative of the movie and it goes with the story. And Black Widow gets her closure. This is the final time you're seeing Black Widow, and it goes to the after credit scene where Elena's at her grave, right?
Yeah, so that scene as well.
You see her closure throughout the end of the movie, and then she's going back into Quinjet to where she goes to Steve and help break people out of jail.
Yeah,
right. It's not Taskmaster, and it's just annoying because you're like, that's a throwaway. You could have brought this character back in Disney Plus. What if they want to do a Moon Knight Disney Plus series, which I think they're doing?
Oscar Isaacs, I think, cast this movie.
Right. That could have been a villain in the future. That would have been a great combo.
Yeah. I think that Taskmaster was the best when he was first RPG'd Natasha in the truck.
Right.
And you see him roll up, just stomp out. If you watch when he swings like a grapple up and he flips like Spider-Man when he landed in Civil War. He trucks a shield like Cap, and then he mimics Wanda's movements. That was a good scene with Taskmaster. Earlier on in the film, I didn't feel it as much.
Right, because they're trying to push an agenda in it.
Yeah, and he beat Natasha straight up, and that was a good scene. She was like, "You should know I'm a better shot when I'm pissed off."
And can I just ask something? Because I had this conversation with my dad that I really thought I was going to get the answer to. How did Black Widow escape?
Which part? When she was kicked off in the water?
No. So she walks. So this movie takes place right after Civil War. At the end of Civil War, she's talking with Iron Man, and Tony's kind of like, you threw it away. You have so-and-so time till General gets here. I can't remember his name.
Ross.
Yeah, Ross.
How'd she escape Ross?
So she got away then. So I'll
Yeah.
take that. I don't need an answer there. She took her window and she ran. She literally waited for Ross to circle her and give up. And you're telling me she just walked away from that and went and got it
of this film?
at the end when she got into the Quinjet.
Oh, I know what you're talking
When
about.
her family and all the other widows flew away and she
was
waited.
like, I'll handle this from
Yes.
here.
You international criminal, and she just walks away. Oh, sorry, she dyed her hair and then got up. I really wanted the story on how because you assume
that's a fair point.
You assume right after Civil War she goes and meets up with Cap and helps Cap break everyone out of jail.
Yeah.
Which
and she's like Wanda and Vision.
And you still get that confirmation that she goes and meets up with Cap to help him break people out of jail.
Yeah.
How did she get away with him almost a second time? You're telling me that her one route to leave flew away and she outran him on foot, or she got captured and, oh, let me cut and dye my hair and I'll give my guy a heads up. Like, I really wanted that confirmation of how they met up. You didn't have to get a Chris Evans cameo, but I was like, that's a bit of a plot hole that doesn't have any plot armor around it, and it's like just something I picked up.
No, it's a fair point. I don't know how she got captured and escaped.
Right.
That'd be my only thing. She wouldn't have been able to outrun any of this.
Exactly.
They have Humvees. They'd roll onto this group.
You're telling me she just escaped? Just
unless like none of them saw and she was able to get away, and they all looking at
the other
wreckage. Maybe
the other heroes didn't break her out because she makes a comment about going to break them out. So she did it by herself. If she escaped, she did it by herself, which she's fully capable of. I'm just saying I would have liked some plot armor on that because now I'm here to let my mind run. But let's hit this after credit scene because there's something that was supposed to happen first that actually now happened second.
Yeah. So if you watched Falcon and Winter Soldier, you saw this lady, I believe at the end of the final episode, Valentina, I think, and she's like, I'm recruiting. I think it was like a team. She's like, you'll be working with me a little more close often. She's talking to
the captain, John Walker,
I forgot his name.
U.S. agent,
yeah. And so he's being recruited. And at the end of this scene, you see my love life, Yelena, at Natasha's grave. No, it's Ya.
Oh, it's Yelena.
Yeah. Unless the Y is silent.
Cap.
Yeah.
Cap.
But you see her at Natasha's grave, kind of paying her respects. And Valentina, right?
Yes.
Shows back up. And she's like, you interested in finding the man that actually killed your sister?
Right. And she's supposed to be like on off time.
Yeah. And she's like, sure, why not? Let's see who it is. Pulls out a picture of Hawkeye.
Which is Cap. It's absolutely.
And I was like, oh, yeah. I was like, I didn't think it would go this way.
How do people actually know that story? That's what I want to know. What, they just said that Clint Barton yeeted her off a cliff to get the limestone? How do they know that?
Well, I feel like it was I feel like it was told like a legacy thing. Like, these heroes were lost. Iron Man did this. Black Widow sacrificed her life for this.
Right.
Captain America went back in time and did this. That's my guess. Like,
I want to see how it plays out. And you're going to probably end up seeing both. Oh, yeah, but so you're supposed to see Valentina first because Black Widow is supposed to be last year. And now you're seeing her. The first time you're seeing her as a much more massive role because they released Falcon Winter Soldier first instead of this little tease that you were supposed to get. And, kind of changes the dynamic of how you feel
like
about
reverse feeling it.
Right, because normally you're like,
I forgot her when I watched the movie.
This is how they're doing it. Like, who's that? And then you start to look at this character. But now you're seeing this kind of like anti-Avengers group start to assemble a little bit.
So now are we thinking, is she with U.S. Agent then?
I don't think that's really going to...
I don't think they're together, but...
I don't think that's really going to play a part in it just because of the way that she makes her point in Black Widow. It's more or less like, this has already been going on for a while, which would a lady like Valentina portrays herself. You can kind of assume before she started signing on U.S. Agent and Black Widow's sister.
Yeah.
She's been doing this for much longer before that.
That's what I think as well, but makes me curious. And we also, I think that wraps up Black Widow. I don't have anything else.
I don't have anything else.
Overall, definitely good movie.
It was good.
Watch this movie. I'd buy.
Yeah,
when
I
it comes
really
out.
enjoyed it.
rewatch it. I'd even rewatch
I still think that we should have gotten a Black Widow movie while Scarlet, and she looked good. Don't get me wrong, she looked really good falling back into a role. But like, I think a younger Scarlett Johansson, like at that time frame in movie, like that would have fit a lot better. Because even Civil War, Black Widow was peak.
Yeah.
So if you would have gotten this movie in timeline with when, like right after Civil War and all that, I would have liked that.
I would have liked it as well. It would have just fed the story so much more. Then you see her in Infinity War with Cap, and you're like, yo, that's where she went. Like,
but then you don't get your end credit scene. So I kind of get it, but it sucks a little bit. Fear Street, 1975. This is part 2 to the movie that we talked about last week, and part 3 is coming out in a few days.
We actually watched it immediately after Black Widow. Like we came home
and watched Fear Street.
Fear Street? Yeah, why not? I like it more than the first. I love something about the whole.
It makes more sense than the first because the kids are stranded in a camp, and the entire city's not just abandoned.
Yeah. And I said it again. I was like, "Where are the adults?" Oh wait, that's 75. No phones. They're in a camp. I can agree with that.
They yeeted us on Cindy Burton or Burnham, whatever her name was. You think it's the older sister, and it's actually the younger sister. Yeah. And I was like, I'm sitting there like complaining about this as
Jimmy's like, how is this happening?
Because the younger sister Ziggy gets shanked like 3 times.
Yep.
But then she dies, and the older sister Cindy, who is what they're calling the older lady in number 1, she gets just an axe to the chest like 6 or 7 times, and I'm like, I'm sitting here like, this is Cap. You're telling me that the chick who gets shanked doesn't come back, but the chick who's just getting her chest pressed in is going to somehow get revived. But then, her little boyfriend who's
actually the sheriff in the first movie.
Who she thought they were close, and then he goes and acts like a tool. He says it's Cindy, and she kind of just rides it out. But I'm kind of curious as how that flies, because what in the nonsense? You're telling me that when the parents come, the mom, who I guess, she's messed up, but she wouldn't be able to recognize the difference between her older and younger sister? How? I don't know how her daughter. Like, there's not a lot of plot armor in these movies.
Yeah.
You gotta kind of just like swallow the pill and take it and keep watching, because you can really dissect these movies and you're like, that's an absolute joke. Like, that
the mom never show up. Did she just
you're gonna be there for a while just picking apart the movie. But I mean, long story short,
it's a good slasher film.
Yeah, you get
the cut out.
Yeah, you kind of get the backstory. You get more of the backstory of the witch. You see a few things tie in that you see in the first movie. It works like the Insidious movies. It's telling a story in reverse. But you're still seeing bits and pieces in the beginning of and end of the main character that you follow. Which is funny because I watched Insidious backwards. I watched it 3, 2, 1. When you're supposed to watch it 1, 2, 3, but like chronologically, but in the movie timeline, I watched it progressing.
Yeah. You can pretty much guess what's going to happen next in the show.
Yeah.
Stuff, but it's still not a bad watch. I enjoyed it. I wouldn't pay to go see it, but since it's
the fact that it's a Netflix series, it pays.
I enjoy it. I'm excited for the final part.
They get the hand, they bury it with the body.
Yeah, and the girl from the first movie, what was her name? Sammy, maybe?
No, Sam's the one that's possessed.
Oh.
I don't remember.
Where her friend or girlfriend or whatever, she's like burying the hand and she touches it. And she's like a flashback all the way back to Sarah Fear.
So now she's
like the witch
in Sarah Fear's body.
Yeah, and they're about to relive the whole story, how it's happening. That's also a cheap way to keep
Fear Street, 1966.
1666.
1666. Yeah, my bad.
3 6s.
Yeah. 1666. I was a little dyslexic there and flipped it. So it's going to be an interesting play.
You can see the pastor. He was shown off in the first movie as like another demon she possessed and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah. It's going to be interesting. Friday, I'm sure I'll be here to watch it.
Yeah, probably.
So we'll dissect that and the Loki series season finale, because Loki was confirmed for a season 2, which is we're probably going to really dive into that, because the fact that it's season 2 opens up a lot of possibilities for how this is going to go.
How's Loki going to end? Your opinion. What do you think's going on?
Rough guess. I think they found the horizon leading to the timekeepers. I think something's going to happen where they are unsatisfied with the ending and they go to find a solution, and this is how it's going to lead into, like, maybe the timekeepers aren't this big all-powerful thing. Maybe it's like some small shrimpy dude and like,
Wizard
you
of
know,
Oz pulling the curtain.
kind of, right? Now, obviously, they have the shadow thing that protects them, and I don't know about the comics because even in the comics, this was a thing, I guess, because there was a monster. I think something's going to happen where they're going to get the truth, but they don't like the truth, or it's a false truth, and they keep digging, but that's why it's going to lead into a season 2 because they're unsatisfied or they want to fix this, and they don't want to stop the branching timelines. They're going to enforce it.
This is how I'm hoping it ends. It's
a cliffhanger, 100%.
They're gonna do whatever they're gonna do at like the beginning of the show, and then something mentioned of the timekeepers, and I just want Loki to be like, "Yeah, and who are you?" I'm the one they call Kang. Cut.
Right, I could see that.
They don't have to show them. They don't really even have to like say much about it, or even like.
But then again, you're having interference with Quantumania, which I don't think comes out till 2023 or 2024.
Yeah, February 2023.
Okay, so right then and there, we're also looking at another year. And when is Loki going to come out? Because now you have to have Loki come out before Quantumania, or you need a very solid explanation that they're not going to take the time to write into Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah.
So I don't think you're going to see Kang at the end of this.
I'm not sure.
Personally,
I think it'd be such a good way.
I think it would be a good way to end it and a good way to tie him in. But like I said, 2023, so that gives us an entire another year. I'm wondering when Loki season 2 is going to come out.
It's the only MCU show it's going for second season, right?
So I believe so. Yeah,
I believe so as well.
And it's just one of those things where if you were to introduce him now, you're dealing with some runoff on what happens in between now and when he's in Quantumania. And then if you were to have a Loki backtrack, then it's interesting, but you already know what happens with Kang.
Also, side note, something you said MCU shows and we'll be done. Here's how you bring Taskmaster into Moon Knight. Whoever's
well, now it's not gonna happen.
I forgot her name. Whoever's the guy's daughter who's playing Taskmaster.
I don't remember. I was so let down about it.
Yeah, I wanted to take off the armor. She's like, this isn't me anymore. Throws it away somewhere. Someone else picks it up, not knowing it's actually Taskmaster's armor. But conveniently, I guess, has like the same martial arts experience and background, and they end up wearing that, and that's how it brings it back. And I wasn't seeing like Black Widow to be like, there's no way that's like the same person, or maybe they can tie it something like that. That's my opinion.
It's possible because they're also bringing back Mandarin, who everyone thought was a throwaway character in Iron Man 3. Even I did.
I was so shocked when I was like, this is not the Mandarin.
I was like, I'm so unsatisfied with that.
I'm just a TV actor.
That we're getting Mandarin now, I'm happy.
Yeah.
But episode 23 is a wrap. Woo!
That was a good one. It was a lot of stuff.
We'll see you next time.
See you guys.